Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect. In the previous episode, we planned off this, which is, well, we don't really have a name for it, but I guess it's our work facility, really. When you look at it, we have a lot of dormitories for, and also the same amount of workshop. The idea was that we plan a very small prison here and then we expand, which is something we're definitely going to have to do because there's a lot of things we don't have. If we go over to rooms, we can see that we don't have a cell, we don't have a holding cell, we don't have solitary, we do have dormitory, we do have the canteen and kitchen, showers we do have in there, yards 2 of, storage is planned off to be there. Deliveries and garbage, yes. Workshop we don't have unlocked, but it will be here. We don't have a security room. We have several offices. We don't have an infirmary or a morgue. We don't have a common room, but we do have a laundry and visitation, although there was some discussion about changing this here over to the common room, so we don't have the laundry or anything, and we do that on the expansion. That's not a terrible idea, but we'll see how we get on with that one. That's a future us problem. Visitation, yes. Clinic cupboard, yes. Kennel, yes. Armory, no. We're probably not going to have one. Staff room is in. Library is not in. Neither is forestry or the classroom. We do have an export, but we don't have a chapel. We do tentatively have a parole, but I'm not too happy with where it is. We do have a reception planned. We don't have a mailroom or a shop. So a lot of these things we don't have A, unlocked, and B, nowhere to put them. So we'll have to see how we get on. We did start to plan off some of the fencing, and as you can see, it is running around quite nicely here. I am going to place the next layer in this area because, well, we might as well. We'll run it up to there, and then we will start building. So let's go to building brick because that's what the facilities are going to be made out of, and we need to build probably one big section at a time here. So I'm going to place this in here, and then we're going to work all the way to that area there. There was some discussion to say just remove this and make it one big wall. I do agree that that would probably be better. We actually get rid of that wall and that there and just work all the way along to that side. It means that we could have a much bigger kitchen, much bigger canteen in this thing here. The problem with that is we'd have to probably have to shrink down this bit to get. We'll have to go through to the other side. That's not really a big problem, but I think we're going to stick with what we've got just so we can have the patrols, and it means that we won't have to alter the centre here. That's the main reason. It's because it's a fairly big change on this door, although it's actually not too bad, as if we're honest with each other. But anyway, it's planned off, and I don't think there's any terrible issue with it at the moment. It also means that expansion, we know where we're going to get with that one. And also having these extra gaps, it means that if we expand to the other side, we can easily put road gates in there and other things, and it's a little bit better for maybe our needs. So as you can see, we have 50 grand, getting 2 grand per day. That will obviously fluctuate. A lot of the money that we got was from removing the trees, which is now done. The workers are hammering along at the bottom there, putting in the fencing, and then when they get to there, they'll crack on with the main foundations here. Today's beverage is Earl Grey. Tea, hot. It's not actually that hot, it's sort of tepid. Anyway, we're going to go for the administration centre first. Build 2 offices, hire a warden, unlock finance, hire an accountant. Then once we've got the accountant, we can get all manner of stuff unlocked in bureaucracy. So it'll be extra grants, it'll be loans, it'll be land expansion, all the typical stuff. So let's see. We're going to go over to walls and doors, and I will build probably a model room here first. I'm just waiting for this to be built. You can see it's going along there, and the yard has now completed itself. It's saying, yeah, that's correct. Also, what's been noted is that there is no main entrance into this facility, and that is correct. If we look at where things are, there's no way that we can get from here to here, so we can get through the facility. We'd have to go through the kitchen, which is never ideal, and that's probably what's going to happen, which is a bit of a shame. The only other option that I have really is to change the way this works, because that is a total of 15 to there, and that is, I believe it's 10 on the other side. It is 10 on the other side, so that is two serving tables there, and then you've got 3 serving tables there. I could remove some 5 there, so it's 10 and 10, and then have, say, an entrance sort of there if I really wanted to, and then that means you can come through here. It's not a terrible idea, but I don't know. I think the best way is probably just put a large door there, because we're eventually going to have them anyway, so we might as well. So we'll put the large jail doors in there. That'll give us access to that. We're going to put a staff door in there because that goes into the kitchen. And on these bits either side. We're probably going to put staff doors there as well, and that'll give us access to the majority of the facility. So we will go over to our utilities. You notice that some of these names have changed, and some of the symbols, I believe, as well. So I just have to get reacquainted with that. So we're going to place our... Actually, we're not going to place that there. We'll place our water there, and then the power station in there, with a couple of capacitors there as well. What was that popped up? It was like really, really large. It's like loads of text. Oh, door servos. Yeah. So CCTV monitor, control room door. See, there's loads of text in there, but for some reason, as I mentioned before, the ceramic stuff is in there, and on the other flooring stuff. But, not in there. Strange. Right, okay, so this is now in. Perfect. What we'll do is we will make a model room. A model, I guess, office is the words I'm looking for. And we'll do this. Like so, because all of this is going to have to be built anywhere. And there we go. So in terms of rooms, we can have storage. We'll place that storage in there. I don't think that it is too large, this storage area. Walls and doors over the staff door. Place that in there, and we'll place all the staff doors in here. And then we'll place some model rooms. I mean, we could just go over to quick build and to office, and there you go. There's your office. So we could rotate that round, and it's pretty much exactly where. It's pretty much exactly where we've placed it anywhere. So I'm going to do them. Place them all like that. There you go. I think they will have to remove some of the doors. But they're about right. And you notice they build and then they plan. There you go. So we've got 2 officers. I will hire a warden, and they will go to somewhere up here. That is not supposed to be their office. Instead, what I'll do is I'll pause it a second and I'll build the office manually down here. So we'll go to office. I'll just type in office and we'll place that in there. We'll place all of the typical stuff you need. So we need a desk, probably... in the center there, we'll have a chair like so. We'll have a chair facing the other side. And then just a nice row of filing cabinets on the other one. And then we will go ahead and back to office. And we're going to get rid of all of that. And then the warden will be reassigned. Or they'll reassign themselves, I guess. And then that allows us to go over to... Oh, I've still got the extra fight and stuff on. I better remove that. Not that it'll do anything at this point, you understand. Anyway, we're going to unlock finance through bureaucracy, which is there. In terms of legal, we do want things like legal prep and things like that. There was some requests for this series to do a low-risk facility and then work our way up. Work our way up to sort of medium and then high and then over to supermax and gangs and then eventually, I'm guessing, death row. It's not something that I really plan on doing, but I'm also not opposed to it. But we'll see. This facility, as standard, is just going to be, well, what you see here, plus the expansions that have already been mentioned. So I'm going to put a capacitor there just to expand the connection. Then what we're going to do is run some electrical cable across and then up like so. Although that is a problem because that's probably not going to... power up. Actually, we'll need to run up here. And will this power everything up? I think it will. We'll go to there. There's no lights in here by the look of it. Are there no lights in there? Still no auto light function. Well, there is an auto light function. Lights automatically placed throughout the newly created buildings. Still, I really wish it would be just like click and it auto lights the room. That would be lovely. So we will place some lights just above them like that. And there we are. So we need to hire an accountant, and I'm hoping they go there, but let's just see if that actually happens. No, they want to be as far away from the warden as possible, which doesn't seem... no, I don't like that. Let me go over to rooms. Office once again. Get rid of all that. That'll be then the accountant's office, and then we'll go to there. And that means that we can now get another grant. So we've got a short-term investment and a long-term investment. We'll go for a long-term investment first, because it takes longer. And we'll go for probably extra grant. We're also going to unlock from the warden the health and also psychology and security and maintenance, and that should be about right for now. Plus 10 generic stretch points. Right, so... we're going to go over to this room, which is going to be our reception, and we'll place that in here. Obviously, we'll have to cut out that bit there, and then we'll place some of the extra walls in. In terms of the extra walls, are we going to be using them? Hedges, we probably will use them later on, actually. We'll probably use them in the forestry area. The tiled wall I'm going to use in the for this divider here, probably. The white wall, we probably will build our... I think we'll probably build the... We'll probably build the infirmary out of it. And then the barred wall, I have no idea what we'd use that for. It looks very oppressive and something I would have probably used in the previous build on the island. But anyway, let's place this in here. So we do need some tables, and we also need a chair. And then, because I inevitably will forget, I am going to place the metal detectors in now. And then that means that this is basically... basically sorted. There we go. Obviously flooring we're not going to bother. There is some new flooring in here. We've got iron floor, cargo floor, checkered floor, and snow. I don't know why we've got an iron floor and a cargo floor. I'll probably put either of those two, the cargo floor or the iron floor, in the workshop, and the checkered floor maybe in the canteen. Normally we would use the white tiles, but I think the checkered floor in here would be just a bit different. Okay, so we've got that on the go. If we just double check here, we can see that the extra grant has been approved. Land expansion, we will buy and wait for that. In terms of the extra grant, we will go for the... what do you want to go for? Inmate health and well-being. We could go for that. That'll give us 20 grand. Although, I think the short-term investment is probably the way forward. Simply because what I can do is... probably get... Oh, do I want to build them? I guess we'll have to go for these. So it's requiring basic detention centre. We need holding cell, showers, kitchen, canteen, all of that sort of thing. So we're going to go to foundations and building brick. And we're going to build our very first dormitory, which is actually going to be in the centre here for no other reason than I can. These are not going to have any metal detectors on the entrance. That is not the intention here. However, we'll be able to place this, and then obviously everyone has to eventually go through into the canteen, which means they're going to go through that metal detector anyway, so it's there. There has been some call to remove another section here and put some more toilet area in, or perhaps just remove that and place a big row there and a row there. I haven't yet decided. It's probably going to be something like that, where we just have a row there and a row there of toilets, because, well, it'll probably work out a bit better. In here, we will have a couple of things. We're going to have a shower at the back, and we're going to have the rest as a holding cell. However, what I want to do is just plan just how many of these we can fit in. That's okay. Although, can we put them against the wall like that? I think we can put them against the wall like that. Because I think they only need a gap of 8 all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah. Let me see what it says. Objects. Bunk bed doesn't say. Normal bed says not too soft, not too hard, just right. Well, actually really hard and too small. Okay, we might have to place the bunk beds a little bit further forward. I'm not entirely sure. So I could place them there, there, and there. Not ideal. Certainly not ideal, but it means there is a lot of gappage, that's a word now, around the edge to put the toilets and the benches and other things. Probably get rid of that one though, so there's better flow into here. Something like that anyway. Right, so we'll go to walls and doors, and we'll go for a tiled wall, which is 500 for a tiled wall. Well, I hope they appreciate it. I'm sure they won't. Right, so we'll put that in there. We will place some lighting in, because it currently doesn't have any like that at the back, so that's now in. And that'll be our shower, so we'll designate that as such. In fact, actually what I'll probably have to do is put a large jail door there, and also rooms. We'll go for holding cell. This can be a holding cell for now, plus the shower at the back there. And we will place some, well, I say some things. We'll place a drain, and we'll place a shower head in the back there. I know there's some couple of comments on the sort of mid last season where people mentioned about like why do we do it the way we do, this sort of way of planning. Don't know, couldn't tell you. It is what it is. It's just how we've generally went ahead and done it for a long time. I guess the main reason is that I quite enjoy it building it this way. Actually, let me cancel that and we'll go up to there and then down to there. It's sort of in between sandbox mode because we are, I wouldn't say exploiting the grand stuff. We are getting them completed technically, and then you get them done properly. So it's got the extra challenge of doing, still having the monetary requirement for it, but it's not sandbox mode where we just have unlimited funds. Oh, quite like that. That's not too bad. We might even go ahead eventually and build this wall here as another bit of that, but that's probably going to cost about 16 grand, so perhaps not. Anyway, for the utilities of the large pipe, we're probably going to run the pipe. Probably. Well, we don't need to go back here. There's no reason for that. We do need to come along here, which probably then connect up to a small pipe. So I reckon just that along there. And then for now, we'll just come directly out like that. That'll probably do us for now. And then we can have the small one going along where we'll have the toilet, because the toilet's going to be placed along here probably. But the dormitory, it's toilet and a bunk bed. Sorry, toilet and... Ah, that's right, of course. Cancel all of that. Because that's not supposed to be a dormitory. That is supposed to be a holding cell for now. Which still requires a toilet. Minimum 5x5 and enclosed. It is enclosed. It quite clearly is enclosed. There we go. Won't pause it, does it? Toilet and a bench. Okay, bench. Bosh. There we go. There's that done. So, we have a holding cell. We have a shower yard. We need 2 guards, 2 cooks. We need a kitchen and canteen. Slight problem with that. That's going to be expensive. In fact, it's probably going to be a lot more expensive than... Well, it's probably going to cost more money than we have. In terms of unlocks, you can see we have now unlocked security, health, psychology, maintenance, and we now have options for groundskeeping, cleaning, prison labour, as well as all of the extra additional deployment stuff. So foundation, building brick, and we're going to place this here. That's 3 grand there. How much would that cost us? That would be 10 grand. So actually, we could probably afford to get it done. 5 grand remaining. This is going to be very, very tight when you consider that the auto light is going to work as well. The advantage is that we are making money. There is a positive daily cash flow here. So, and obviously we've got the short-term investment and the long-term investment. But once the basic detention centre is done, we can then go ahead and get a couple of the other things like the psychology. That's not the psychology. We could do staff wellbeing initiative. We could go for inmate health and wellbeing. There's a lot of stuff we can go for. Anyway, that's going to be placed like so. We will place a large jail door in there. We'll place a staff door in... Now this is the thing. This is something a bit tricky. We have this bit here that we normally have a jail door, a standard staff door here, then a jail door behind. Because if they ever kick off, they'll start batting through this, and then we can close this one off behind it. Because I'm going to have people working in here, we're probably just going to go for that, but we'll have a metal detector there. I think having a metal detector is going to work out, although to be fair, these are going to have metal detectors anyway, so is there any point? Probably not, but we'll see how we get on. So this is going to be our canteen, so we will designate that as such, and I'll wait until they're built there, and that is our canteen. We will cancel off that little section there and that little section there. The kitchen will also go in like so, and we probably want a brick wall like that. So, 3 grand remaining to get this basic detention centre grant done. It is quite close now. We are going to place a sink in here. We're going to place a cooker at the back. Actually, do you want to place them along there? Let me just do the measurements. 9. Typical, so it's not big enough, and that's going to be 12. Oh, okay, that's settled that then. Is that right? 12? 12 it is. Okay, so the cookers are going to go on the back wall there. And we've got full rotation, which I think we had on that anyway. And then the fridge will be placed... how do you want the cookers? Do you want another row of cookers there? We probably won't. We'll probably have another row of cookers. Probably have cookers going along like that, and then we'll have, like, say them going along there. Along that way. So the fridges will be down here. Okay. It's all, most of it's temporary anyway, you understand. So, table in there, bench either side, and a serving table. And because they only cost 20, we might as well place them in. 1, 2, 3, and there we are. So, 2 guards, 2 cooks, and then we're away. That is basic detention centre grant done. We now have cell block A, inmate health and well-being, prison maintenance. We've got loads of stuff we can do. However, cell block A? Why not? Why not? Because that should allow us to remove this. Dormitory. Dismantle. Dismantle. And furnish this place. Like that. The question is, do I want just toilets at the end there, but then there's a gap of 2? See, I could just place 2 toilets next to each other. Just have a row of toilets there and some benches over there, but I like that. That looks like not too bad. Okay. So let's see what this gets up to, because at the moment it's saying we don't have any capacity whatsoever, because the dormitory is a room that only completes once you put all the minimums, which was completed as soon as you put the toilet in. Okay, that was actually quite decent. 28, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, and we could go for 30 there, but I think I prefer it to be as is there. Okay, that is now fine. We have 42 grand, which means we could go for probably health and well-being medical ward. No, I think cell block B will 10 grand advance payment. Staff well-being is 10 grand completion. Have at least 5 guards without assigned duties. Well, that one we are pretty much sorted anyway, so let's build a staff room. You can see it's all filthy and dirty. We don't have any flooring in. With some of that money then, I think we'll go for some of those. Deployment, intelligence. That'll be about right for now. We also need to hire a foreman. We're going to get 1 for now, and a chief. Notice that the foreman is working there. We're probably going to hire a couple more foremen. When we expand to the left, we'll probably have a couple of officers for the foreman, and we'll move them out of this place. Okay, so currently on daily cash flow +0. Staff room currently doesn't have anything in it, so we will furnish that place with a drinks machine, and we need a sofa wide. Again, just going for the bare minimum for the moment, and then work from there. We don't yet have a lot of the other things, like we don't have assignments and stuff, but that's getting researched. So we will go for staff, guards, 1, 2, 3, and that's another grant done, 10 grand advance payment. So we have security procedure certification, that's hire 10 guards, unlock patrols, assign guards to patrol routes. Could go for all of that. I think, however, we will go for cell block B, because building the other dormitory is a possibility. However, this is where I have to make a decision. Do I want to fire some of the... I don't think I do. I was going to say, do I want to fire some of the guards, because I think they take 100 a day, but they cost 500. Are we going to get prisoners within the next 5 days? You know what? Probably. We probably will. But I think we will leave it there for now. Not a bad building episode at all, I don't think. As you can see, we've got a lot of stuff in. Kitchen, canteen, technically all of the the basic stuff is in here. We would need to expand on the kitchen and the canteen, and obviously put more water in the dormitory because it currently doesn't have any. But the bulk of stuff is in here. We do need to get our patrol routes unlocked, which are currently on the go from bureaucracy here. We also need deployment and making sure the prisoners can only go to certain areas. But for the most part, I'm quite happy with what we've done. Next episode, we will continue on. The short and long-term investments will be finished hopefully in the next couple of episodes, and that'll give us some even more cash to continue on. I really do want these workshops to have at least one of them be up and running by the time prisoners turn up. I want, as soon as they turn up, they've got the kitchen, the canteen, all the basic stuff, and the workshop. That was sort of one of the key goals of the series. So we'll see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.